Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Gina Hun, young Miami baby, the battle for the devil's soul is in full effect. Listen, Gina, it looks like young Miami are literally gang banging in these streets trying to see who is going to put on the performance. Why the Smex workers looking in the corner? Because you know, Jane said, baby, it's a wrap. I quit. Y'all, let's get into this because Gina was on Instagram shading the mess out of Young Miami, and Young Miami clapped back. Y'all, let's get into this. Okay, let's see for the fight for the devil's soul. Anyway, y'all remember when Gina posted, "You Chiefs act like I can't forgive a man I once loved." Once loved. Gina, shut up. You are forever his dummy. I'm not going to kick him while he's down because y'all want me to. Gina, nobody's asking you to kick him while he's down. The Federal Prison Bureau is about to kick him. Lol, goofies. I'm gonna always have his back. I'm too high vibrational for this. Now, let me just say this. I feel Gina's hell. Early on, when he met her, at least from the outside looking in, he classified her as useless. Cassie had use. That's why she could go on the red carpet. Kim had use. That's why she could go on the red carpet, have children. Jane had use, right? That's why Chelsea had use. Lots of women had use. Gina, not so. Gina was never allowed to be seen. Yeah, he had her at conventions and stuff like that, but she was never actually allowed to walk the red carpet. The general public couldn't know about her. Now, why? I think Diddy uses every woman he's around, but I think Gina's issue is the fact that Diddy finds you useless. Yes, you're a soldier. Yes, you will crash out for that man. Yes, you will humiliate and embarrass yourself for this man. Yes, you will be a bottom B for this man. But see, Diddy's very transactional. And Diddy, I believe, in this all my opinion, never saw any value in Gina. Yes, what's the point of having a crash out or someone that's down for you if you don't have any fame, star power, anything for him to extract? Whatever he could extract from Gina, she gave it to him in private. She gave it to him in secret. Maybe she did inspire, maybe, but she didn't demand anything in return. Gina's problem is you are willing to do the absolute most for him. But because you are, I believe in Diddy's mind, a nobody, you have no value. Okay? Now you know who does have value to Diddy? Young Miami.
Present,
See,
and no
Young
longer
Miami
has a
have
voice
value
who
to
will
Diddy.
pursue
Still
justice for
does.
her
Young
accusation.
Miami is mainstream.
As of the taken
She is
against Diddy,
young.
no
Generation X
expansion of
that
the
Diddy wants to be in
investigation,
on.
no
Young
isolation
Miami is
orders,
down with
no
it.
equipment
She was part
access,
of the City
no
Girls.
suspension of attorney
Maybe they can even make a
communication.
comeback. He probably gonna make an album of Young Miami when he gets out. Did he talk about he wants to be on Madison Square Garden? Ain't nobody coming to see you sing Odis. However, if Young Miami was on there, maybe, okay? So in that, it must be very, very difficult to be Gina because you are useless to this man. Even though you are willing to sacrifice everything you have seemingly for this man, but everything you have is still not worth him publicly coming out and claiming you publicly coming out and doing anything. And when he gets out, it won't be any better. Anyway, how does she shade Young Miami? Because after she said that and said she's too high vibrational, imagine Gina Han saying she's too high vibrational. I don't think Gina knows measurements. What is high? An inch high. When you are, it cracks me up that the biggest doormats say they're high vibrational, but you know what? I'm not going to disturb their slumber of ignorance. She said, I suggest everybody and they mama go meditate, touch grass, and hug trees. Again, besides clowning Gina, who takes her seriously, the man you've been sleeping with for over a decade, or maybe more, don't even take you seriously. Who's taking Gina seriously? And she got a kid. Imagine. Um, I suggest everybody and they mama go meditate, touch grass, and hug trees. Y'all for real need it. It's time y'all raise y'all frequencies and self-awareness. 40% of people in the world are a bunch of NPCs. Real abs don't give a f child. Anyways, listen again. This was a list shade towards Young Miami in another series of posts, one of which references City Girls Act Up. Hit. She said real abs don't give a f child. Anyway, okay, so who knows if that was a lyric out of Act. I ain't watched that Diddy mess ever since Young Miami been with Diddy. Music been trash, but one thing I will say is Gina not realize she's an NPC, and even you antagonizing and harassing Young Miami once again, just like before when they were at the Soul Train Awards. And here's the real deal. Before when they were at the Soul Train Awards, right? I think Diddy wanted um um uh what's her name? I even forgot her name. Wanted Gina to antagonize Young Miami because I think he was putting Young Miami through a humiliation ritual. Because to get a man that is in an open one-way relationship, the women have to be used to fighting with other women, but still loyal to them. I don't think Gina realized that you are just a tool Diddy is using so he can run game on Young Miami. And if she passes the test, then he knows that she won't. He won't have any problem out of her. But Gina, you're never gonna be picked. That's why again, so what happened? I think Diddy has been wanting Young Miami to come and speak on this behalf because at the end of the day, nobody care about Gina. She is a walking joke. But Young Miami, she is mainstream. She got revolt. She's still in the music industry. Young Miami could really help rehab Divi's image, or at least help more than Gina if she came out at, I believe Gina antagonizing Young Miami. I believe that she don't even realize that Diddy is manipulating her into doing this. And guess what, Gina?
Present,
You once
and
again,
no longer has a
that's why you,
voice who
yeah,
will
you're
pursue
around
justice
forever,
for
but
her
you don't ever go
accusation.
anywhere. You
As
don't
of the
make any
taken against
movement.
Diddy,
The goal is not
no
to be with
expansion of
somebody
the
for 10
investigation,
years. The
no
goal is to
isolation
elevate
orders,
yourself in their
no
eyes.
equipment
Maybe
access,
become a wife.
no suspension of
Maybe
attorney
get a business
communication.
together. Maybe get a record deal. Gina ain't get nothing out of this except for doing the lambatada on dirty carpet and in a Vegas strip mall. He ain't even put you out on an island. He had you in a Vegas strip mall. But let me get back to this, right? Because it looks like I believe Diddy's manipulation actually did work. Because Young Miami posted the love symbol on Instagram and Beautiful said, make a Scorpio one of your besties. And Young Miami said, you know I love me a Scorpio. Say bless. If you guys don't know, Diddy is a Scorpio. So congratulations, Dum Dum Gina. You provoked Young Miami into defending Diddy. Congratulations. You provoked her into defending Diddy because at the end of the day, Young Miami's subliminal posts supporting Diddy has more sway and more action and hits with more people, and her fame reaches further than Gina has ever be able to do on her best day, And in the end, that's the tragedy of Gina. Again, this is all my opinion. Who knows what their relationship really is? I'm just looking at it from the outside in. But you know what? Let's use Gina Han's own words to find out what her relationship is. Okay? What's more, this is directly a clip. What's more is that their feud, plus the allegations against Sean Combs, have caused many to look back at these connections. For example, Gina told Tasha K of the abuse she allegedly endured at the hands of Young Miami's future flame. This is an old article. He stomped in my stomach really hard, like took the wind out of my breath. She shared back in 2019 concerning Diddy. I couldn't breathe. He kept hitting me. I was pleading to him. Can you just stop? I can't breathe. Then allegedly he began to punch Gina in the head. And she fought back after having enough of that ish. She said he was mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me. He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one and she's the good one. Many have wrongfully compared themselves or others to Diddy's past relationships, all of which file under a dark light. However, Gina also said that no one who knew what was happening between them tried to stop. Things apparently got more complicated when Diddy offered her $5K to get an abortor after being pregnant with his child. Imagine that. But Dana had the baby again. Gina don't rank on any level, and this is the woman out here saying, y'all sheep. Haha. She claims to have gone through with the procedure but not accepted the money. And that's when you know you got a real dummy. Listen to what happened. That's right. A fool and his dum-dum are never parted. Gina then bragged about the fact that he offered her, a billionaire offered you $5K after he beat us up to get rid of the fruity abor, and she went along with it. Still kept on messing with this man. But then said I turned the money down. Because I just loved him. I wanted to. You wanted to your unborn child. For somebody that was stomping, dog kicking you and told you were never good enough to actually clean. I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that wanted him for money. I just cared about him. I just wanted him to be nice to me. That's it. Yo, Gina. Gina. You know what the funny thing is? That man that's on that jailhouse call, let me fix my hair. That man that's on that jailhouse call, in my opinion, telling you everything you want to hear, or Mafilio, writing you passing along notes. Probably that Tenny wrote, right? Or the Cole Westmoreland wrote, signing Diddy's name. That's not the real him. See, the real test to somebody is how they treat you when they need nothing from you. That's the real test, because everybody's nice to someone, I would think, when they need something from them. But the real test is how they treat you when someone don't need anything from you. And we saw the way did he treated you when he thought he ain't need nothing from you. And look at the way he gonna treat you after. Anyway, y'all listen, I don't know what to say about this. I do know that, um, Yeah, I do know that I feel sorry for Gina. I really honestly do. But since she wanna be out here being Captain Sabaho, baby, you can take Diddy's fire too. Anyway, shout out to Young Miami. Diddy's girl or closest thing to a girl. He actually claimed for doing the least and still getting the most respect from your man Gina. Listen, Gina, the ball's in your court. You gonna talk to Diddy and set him
Present,
straight?
and
What
no
am I
longer
saying?
has a
Gina,
voice
you
who will
gonna do
pursue
what you always
justice for
do.
her
Cue you
accusation.
literally lashing out in
As
Young
of the
Miami
taken
in
against
3,
Diddy,
2,
no
1.
expansion
But
of
at
the
the end of the day, I
investigation,
don't think Gina
no
gets
isolation
you just
orders,
don't have any
no
value to
equipment
Diddy,
access,
and that's sad.
no
Oh
suspension
well.
of attorney
Anyway, y'all let me know
communication.
what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.